All right, I think we nailed it here. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, we can work with that. I just need to lay the vocals down next. But you know what? Let's see what this sounds like. Let's go to the car. Let's see what it sounds like in the car. That sounded okay, but I don't know. Something's missing. Something's not quite right. It's no secret that mixing your own music, that can be quite frustrating. I think sometimes we get a little emotionally tied to, let's say, the guitars that we recorded. No, we're not changing that, right? Or maybe it's the bass track or the vocals or whatever. And then we hear certain things in the studio when we're mixing our own music. We hear certain things that, I don't know, I guess we hear it in a different way than what it actually sounds like, if that makes sense. Because as you just saw, you can listen to it in your studio, sounds great to you, but then you go to another sound source, headphones, your car, or your stereo, whatever, and some things are just off. So you go back to the drawing board and again, you just keep hammering away at it. And sometimes you get it to where, okay, well, this is good enough. But guys, I challenge you to take it to the next level. Don't let good enough be it. Because when you're releasing your own music, you want it to sound pristine. You want it to sound great. You want it to be as close to industry standard as you can possibly get it. Let's say your favorite band is Nightwish, or I'm wearing a Testament shirt, you know, well, pop in one of their later albums and then listen to one of those songs, then listen to your mix and line that up and say, okay, well, what's the differences? What are the differences? What am I not hearing in my music that I'm hearing on that Testament album or whatever band that you chose, right? Whatever mix you're going for. What are some elements? What are the differences? And I want you to write those down, okay? Write those down. Okay, well, mine just didn't have any bottom end to it, or maybe the guitar sounded a little muddy. So that's first going to help you go back to the drawing board, go back to your studio, and work on those little details, those differences that you heard between what you want your song or your album to sound like versus what it's sounding like right now. So at least you have a better starting point. Now, of course, the mixing process is also going to depend much on the initial performance, right? The initial guitars and vocals and that sort of thing. And that's a different conversation. But when you're mixing, when you're at the point you've got all the tracks down, you're ready to mix that song and album, or maybe you're mixing someone else's and you don't really have the luxury to go back and have the band re-record everything. And maybe you're at a point too, if it's your own song or band, you're just not at that point. It's like, okay, we're beyond that. We need to work with what we have and we need to try to make this sound as best as possible. Now, if it's just complete garbage, of course, you got to go back and re-record it. But oftentimes there are some little, I don't want to say tricks, there's just some simple things that you can do in your studio, in your DAW, to make those tracks sound better, and not just make the tracks themselves sound better, but to bring everything together. The most important thing I want you to get out of this video today, and I've got something coming for you as well, so hang around for that. I just want to share this real quick though. The most important thing is it's not about just the guitar tone. I know a lot of you watching right now, maybe you're a guitar player and we're talking about, you know, rock and metal music here. So of course the guitars are a big part of that. We can get so hung up on, we gotta have the perfect tone, you know, it's gotta be this, gotta sound like that, right? We get so hung up on that oftentimes that overpowers, the guitars overpower everything else going on. And I'm here to tell you that the vocals are just as important, maybe even more important than the guitars, right? Your bass guitar track is absolutely just as important as your guitars. If you have a poor sounding bass track or a weak bass, right? Well, that's not going to sound good at all. Just hearing your guitars, that's not what you want. The drums, whether you hired a real drummer, which I encourage you guys to look into that. There are several options out there. Whether you hire a real drummer to record their drums in their studio and they send you the stems to mix, or if you're using a drum program, some of you don't have access or don't have the means to hire a real drummer and you just want to get something out there. There are certain things that you need to be aware of when you're mixing drums even program drums. Okay, so all these elements need to come together as one, not just the guitar tones sounding good. They need to come together in the mix, which is what we're talking about. With that, guys, I'd like to introduce you to a brand new course that Metal Mastermind just released, and it is called Metal Producer Overlord. This is part of a series. This is a mixing series of Metal Producer Overlord. We teamed up with pro audio engineer, producer, and multi-instrumentalist who works with actual labels, bands, and artists. He does this full-time. He works globally. His name is Nic Z. He just released this course on the Metal Mastermind platform, and I'm sharing that with you guys now. I'm actually going to be going through this course myself to mix my next album. A lot of you know I've been working on an album called Overcometh for quite some time, so I'm really excited about the outcome, which I'm going to be sharing more of that with you on here, and of course on my Jason Stallworth channel as well. But there's a link below in the description of this video. Go check this course out, guys. There's a lot of information on that page there. There's a short video where I tell you more about the course, but click that link below. Go check out Metal Producer Overlord Mixing Series. I think is something that is really going to help you. I've already gotten so many tips just from talking to Nic on the phone and through Zoom and that sort of thing. So he's already helped me, so I can't wait to dive into this course with you guys and mix my album. I need to get this out, by the way, and you do too. You guys are sitting on songs and albums. You need to get it out there. So guys, if you're serious about achieving that industry standard mix, Nic is going to take you step by step through the process. Again, just click the link below to learn more about how this course can help you. Guys, thanks for watching this. I hope you got a lot out of this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Remember, create your own sound.